Plenty of people get famous for starring in reality shows, but Matt Dusk got famous for sort of being in the background of one. Going back a bit, Matt was the in-house entertainer on Mark Burnett's reality drama called The Casino.
Dice and spin the wheel. If Jack's your game, then Black's your deal.
After years spent trying to make it in the bars and clubs of Toronto, The Casino gave Matt's career a big league boost.
Vegas, baby!
He scored a hit with his debut, Two Shots.
2 shots of happy, 1 shot of sad.
A record that harkened back to the era of the Rat Pack and those killers from that era that inspired him. I'm talking about Frank, Tony Bennett, and the West Coast jazz legend, Chet Baker.
She's lost you.
Who Matt pays tribute to in his new record called My Funny Valentine.
Matt Dusk, everybody! Awesome.
How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Welcome. Thank you. Sorry, wrong.
That ain't gonna help. That ain't gonna help. Congratulations on your new record.
Thank you very much.
Anybody that tackles Chet Baker's all right with me?
Oh, what a great dude.
Yeah, well, complicated.
I mean, he did have some complications, but nonetheless, that's kind of why I did the record, because the thing is when people think of Chet Baker, they often think of him as this, this crazy drug fiend kind of guy, which he was, but at the same time, he also had an amazing way of performing. And his performance side of things was kind of lost, and I wanted to bring attention back to this, really cool cat who played really well.
I know most artists don't want to be categorized, but if you had a genre that you think you fit into, what genre? Because crooner isn't a genre.
Dude,
so
I'm a jazz crooner, man. I mean, there's very few of us left. There's myself, there's Michael Bublé, Harry Connick Jr. Not a lot of young guys are really doing this anymore.
When did you first realize that this is what you were going to do? Not as a singer, but this is your vein.
You mean music in terms of...
this kind of stuff.
Well, see, when I was a teenager, I always loved singing. And I went to St. Michael's Choir School in Toronto.
If you want visual proof, take a look at this.
What do we got here?
Look at that. This is a little picture. Look at this young man here.
Wow.
That's in the St. Michael's Choir, right?
Oh, for Christ's sake.
That's his yearbook photo, which I love.
Wow. How did you find that?
Dude, I got stuff.
I didn't even give you that. That's the problem. That's what I'm worried about.
There it is, you back in the day.
Well, and you can understand, when you look like that, you got to find ways to get dates. So I quickly found out by singing karaoke, I could get some phone numbers.
Let me ask you this question then, and we talk about Oscar and Chet, their upbringing. We talk about Miles and John, their upbringing, Coltrane. Through, a lot of these songs are so intense, in part because the pain's real. The journey is an authentically told story.
Absolutely.
So when you're a guy who hasn't led that life,
yes,
and you do these songs, how are you not, and I say this, as you know, I love the genre, and I love
that's really cool.
How do you do this and not be a cover artist? You know what I'm saying? How's this not become karaoke?
Well, I don't have the perspective. The only perspective I have is that I have sat at a bar, drank myself stupid, crying over lost love. Right. That is my reference. Right. To say, because I think all of us can kind of sit here and say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I would answer back with saying that, well, then you can't sing a song written by Cole Porter unless you're in a marriage and are gay.
Right, so this is what I wondered. Is it a question of you being a vessel then? As an artist, you have to become a vessel to find your way into it? Because look, some of the greatest songs of all time, they didn't write. Like the Rolling Stones don't know the blues, but those first Stones records...
It doesn't matter.
Exactly, they pulled it off.
I often talk to people about music, and I'm often compared to, other people who have had successful lives in business, and it's like, hey, wouldn't you rather, be a millionaire running this crazy corporation? And just like you and I, we're artists at the end of the day, and we love our art. We're not going to get rich doing it. But the thing is, though, is when we write our biographies, you have a wonderful sense of learning and all the things that you can experience along the way. And that's the one thing I love about music. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. When the Queen came to Canada, I think it was 2 years ago.
A lot of people don't know she actually slept in my place. I have a couch that it pulls out to a bed.
Not the Queen from Church Street.
No.
Okay.
It's
No, Queen of England.
I think the Queen of England and the Queen are both welcome. Okay. But yes, the Queen of England, Lizzie.
So long story short, I decide to go, and as soon as I get there, I'm seated at this table. I thought I'd be like way off in the back corner, but I'm in the middle back table, and I'm like, whatever, you know what, get a free meal, free glass of wine, I got a cab ride taking me home. Sure enough, the Queen walks in, and she's coming, and I'm like, oh, this is too good of an opportunity to get on my phone, start like taking pictures of her. I sit down, and I get this, and I'm like, oh man, I'm busted. They're gonna kick me out. And they say, excuse me, there's a vacancy at the Queen's table. They'd like you to join her. So, no word of a lie, I'm hammered, okay? I'm going solo to this lunch. What else do I have, right? So I'm like, okay, sure. So I get let up, and sure enough, it's, you know, Premier McGinty, you know, his wife Terry, the Duke of York, the Queen, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And
You're back in Tokyo? What is
I know. And I sit down, and Norman Jewison is there as well. Oh, Christ. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and I'm talking with him, and I'm just like, oh, so they're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a singer, I sing. How did you get into music? And I'm like, oh, well, when I was 17, I sang for this all-girls school. I sang, they went crazy. I love karaoke. Your Highness, do you love karaoke? And I just get this kind of like nod. And I'm saying, though, but these are the experiences.
What do we think her go-to karaoke song is?
Don't Stop Believing.
Oh, my God. I had a feeling she was going to do all the single ladies, all the single ladies, which would be amazing. Matt Dusk, everybody. Check out his record. It's called My Funny Valentine, the Chet Baker songbook. Really, really good. We'll be right back.